Here are your top 10 easiest VA disability claims to win. You get a claim, you get a rating, you get a rating. It's like Oprah. Go right through this, let's get right into it. Jordan Anderson, VAClaimsAcademy.com. Number 1 is tinnitus. Pretty much everybody knows what tinnitus is. It's ringing in the ear, one ear or both ear. Thing about tinnitus, it's super easy to get. However, it's only a 10% rating. Okay, only a 10% rating. It's a low value claim, but it's easy to get. Moving on, mental. Here is a high roller claim. Okay, I'm gonna put a star right next to that, and this marker is embarrassing me. Whew, there it goes. Number 2 is mental. Now, this could be PTSD, this could be anxiety, it can even be adjustment disorder or insomnia, okay? If you have not, if you don't think you have a mental claim and you've been out of the service, go back, check your records, and really search, look for adjustment disorder or even insomnia, okay? The average mental claim, especially for a VA Claims Academy course graduate, right? Quick boot camp teaches you everything. The average is a 70% rating, all right? 70% rating. That of course makes it a tremendously high value claim. It's not something you want to play with. You're going to want to write a bulletproof personal statement for mental. And additionally, mental claims open you up to a lot of secondary claims. So let's say you have a 70% rating for your mental claim. Now you get diagnosed with number 5 or 6. By the way, stick around for number 10. That's going to be a reward for those of you who stick around. It's going to make you a lot of money and even more than 100% disability. Okay, it's going to make you over the 100% disability compensation. Back to mental. A mental claim opens you up to getting these, stomach-related claims as well because of the medication. Okay, if you're on Zofran, if you're on Prozac, if you're on antidepressants, anti-anxiety medications, guess what? Those have side effects, and it is very common to get a secondary claim service-connected to mental, and these are heavy hitters. You're going to see in a second. Moving on to number 3. Number 3 is the word I can never pronounce. Musculoskeletal. Did pretty well. Musculoskeletal ratings. This is you were landing after jumping out of a plane and you hurt your ankle, right? You sprained your ankle. This is you have a short Achilles tendon. This is you sprained your shoulder, you tore your rotator cuff, you have a bum knee, right? Arthritis, things like that. These are pretty low value claims typically. However, again, this opens us up because these can be made worsened by medications, which is a prerequisite for having a secondary service connection. So, for instance, if you have and this is a 10 to 20%. If you have a medication for, let's say your service-connected ailment, and now all of a sudden you have swelling and limited range of motion in your ankles, you can claim that as long as, let's say, hey, your ankles are made worsened by your medication. Your medication is making you gain weight. Your medication is making you inflamed. That's when you can tack these on and really be smart about your secondaries. Number 5, I'll keep doing that. I'm in the future. Number 4 is your presumptive medical conditions. So presumptive service-connected injuries or ailments are things like Agent Orange, right? Things like Gulf War syndrome. Pretty specific, pretty self-explanatory. I'm not going to go into that one very much further. You should be able to get that plenty fine. Number 5, this is a big one. GERD. I'm going to put that as a high roller claim and as the newest member to the high roller claims. And for those of you who have bought the course for the one-time payment, you have a free update to the courseware, including a specific strategy for this GERD, which is a 60%er. It is a big boy, okay? This is important. Now, what GERD is, just to quickly go over it, is when stomach acid flows up to the esophagus, okay? So gastric reflux. Stomach acid comes up into the esophagus. That is a very specific delineation between what is next, which is IBS, okay? So they're separate. Now for a 60% rating for GERD, you need to have substantial debilitation of your health. very open to interpretation. 60% rating is the maximum for GERD, okay? That is a huge percentage. Now, again, this is going to be your personal statement. This is how you get the max ratings, is with your personal statement. You have to demonstrate and really convey that your GERD is leading to a substantial debilitation of your health. Number 6, IBS, irritable bowel syndrome. Yes, great question. I can read your mind. You can, in fact, get compensated for both GERD and IBS, provided that you have both diagnosed, okay? Now, GERD is specifically what? The stomach acid rising to the esophagus. IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, can have the same symptoms. And by the way, a common rating for IBS is 30%, the 30% rating. Both of these can have very similar symptoms. However, they are different ratings. They are different conditions entirely. Now, in IBS for a 30% rating, this is irritable bowel syndrome, you have to have severe diarrhea or switching between diarrhea and constipation and near constant stomach distress. Again, it's very ambiguous, open to interpretation. So when you're writing your personal statement for IBS, if you're looking to go for that 30% threshold, you're going to want to convey that, hey, I have severe diarrhea or diarrhea alternating with constipation, and I have near constant abdominal distress. Put that in your own words, okay? That's a 30%. So yes, again, you can get a 60% GERD and a 30% IBS because you already have a mental claim, and that mental claim messes up your stomach, and now you have a new GERD diagnosis and a new IBS diagnosis, okay? You can get a nexus letter, and then your 70% mental just tacked on this 60 plus 30. This is the type of strategy. This is what we do here. We play chess and not checkers. We get creative and aggressive. This is what you come here for. Number 7, speaking of aggressive, headaches. Ooh, where's my star? Here we go. This is a high roller claim. The average VA Claims Academy member, right, goes through the boot camp, quick course, ends up with a 50% rating using the pre-written personal statement templates that are provided with the course, okay? The 50% rating requires you to show economic impact, okay? I'm gonna link to the video right there that I did over headaches and how to get a 50% headaches rating, which is valued if you got nothing else, just 0%, and you just watch that video and get your headaches, like it shows right here, it's worth $1,300 per month tax-free. So look at that video after this one. Number 8, radiculopathy. Radiculopathy is a secondary claim primarily, okay? So let's say you have, which by the way, radiculopathy is commonly felt as numbing and tingling, okay? Down either both hands, both arms, down a leg, down both legs, okay? Now commonly, we here at VA Claims Academy, we claim bilateral radiculopathy, meaning radiculopathy in both sides as a secondary to back pain. And that takes a back pain rating for which is usually 10%, maybe 20%. With our back pain strategy, we can actually get 60% out of that. And that is on the channel as well. A link to that video is right here. Check that out after this one, because this is by no means, as you can tell, this is an overview. I'm by no means jumping way into each one here. Number 9, and then we get to our bonus number 10. You're gonna wanna stick around for that. Number 9 is plantar fasciitis, okay? Plantar fasciitis is very common, by the way. And what we're gonna put here is bilateral, so BL. So plantar fasciitis, if you have a bilateral plantar fasciitis with no relief, and this wording is interesting, no relief with surgical or non-surgical treatments, meaning if you go to, what do they call it, podiatry, right, the foot doctor, and they give you insoles, and you have plantar fasciitis diagnosed with both feet, and the insoles do not work for you, you write that in a personal statement. Hey, I was diagnosed with plantar fasciitis in service. I was prescribed these insoles. I was prescribed this walking boot, and it did not work for me. I had no relief. Thank you for your time. Guess what? that qualifies to me. No relief with surgical or non-surgical treatments. And that's how we get a 30% rating for our VA Claims Academy watchers, just like yourself. And not many people get that rating, so that's a good nugget right there. Now, number 10, speaking of good nuggets, I'm gonna erase these question marks here because it's time for the reveal. You stayed here, you toughed it out, you deserve this. Number 10 is ED, erectile dysfunction. Why is that so special? Okay, it's quite literally special because if you have erectile dysfunction, you receive what's called special monthly compensation. Okay, special monthly compensation right now, it's about an extra $150 per month on top of even your 100% disability payment. Okay, erectile dysfunction counts as loss of a creative limb. Okay, that's what it counts as. You get special monthly compensation if you have amputations, if you had a limb where you use loss of it. Oh, sorry, you lose use of it, right? So ED qualifies as loss of a creative organ, and you get, again, plus, what is it? Let's say 135, something in that ballpark per month, and every month thereafter. Okay, so I know that may not sound like a lot, but you add that up over the course of years, you're gonna be glad you did it. This is your top 10 easiest VA ratings to claim. Go ahead and share this with a fellow veteran or service member that you know could use this information. They will love you for it. Right here is the next video by Combat Craig. He's great too. Enjoy.